bantamweight division. Unstoppable force meets a movable object as top contenders collide when the juggernaut, Jake Ellenberger, battles ruthless Robbie Lawler.
Both Jake Ellenberger and Robbie Lawler have the potential to beat anyone in the world at 170 pounds.
And Ellenberger swore. He's out. Wow! Head kick knockout.
I love the matchup. I know him really well. You know, at the same time he knows me, so it's exciting.
Obviously, I have my hands full fighting Jake. He's athletic, he hits hard, he can wrestle, so he can do a lot. He's fought some of the best in the world, and he's shown what he can do, so I need to be sharp when I fight him.
Robbie Lawler will fight in a way that forces you into a war. And Jake Ellenberger is going to be well aware of that stepping into the octagon against Lawler. There's no easy fights against Robbie Lawler.
People, I think, in the past have made the mistake of giving him too much respect, but I'm more excited to kind of show, you know, what I can do on my feet, and I can win this fight anywhere it goes.
I'm just trying to win this fight by winning every round, winning every second of every round. It's just get in his face and knock him out.
Oh my God! Ruthless Robbie Lawler!
Absolutely incredible.
This is the hardest sport in the world, and I'm in this sport for one reason, to become world champ.
The juggernaut, Jake Ellenberger. We know he has been with Mark Munoz and Team Rain for many years, training with the great shoot-the-box striking coach, Rafael Cordero. But for this fight, he started to train, especially his boxing, with Edmund Taverdian, who of course is a longtime trainer of Ronda Rousey. And we saw in some features working up to the fight, man, his hand speed looks dynamic.
But he's always had outstanding power in his hands. We saw that way back when he knocked out Pele with one punch, the great Vale Tudo legend, before he ever got into the UFC. Jake Ellenberger has thunder and lightning in his fists. It's about putting it together inside the octagon, and he's coming off of arguably his worst performance in one of his most important fights against Rory McDonald. Rory just picked him apart. Rory fought a perfect fight against Jake Ellenberger and had him in a defensive shell. Jake hates that fight. I'm sure he would love to erase the memory of that fight. I'm sure he would love to come in here and show the same type of skills that he showed in the fight before that against Nate Marquardt when he looked like a world beater. When Nate Marquardt and Jake Ellenberger fought, Jake Ellenberger was at his very best. And he's gonna have to be in that kind of form tonight to deal with Robbie Lawler.
Joe, he was knocking at the door after his knockout of the night performance against Jake Shields and his fight of the night victory over Diego Sanchez. He was beating Martin Kampmann. Kampmann with the comeback. And now Jake finds himself again at a very crucial juncture of his career. And he said, and I quote, "This is my title fight." Because Jake Ellenberger knows he doesn't get past Lawler tonight, it's a long way to get back in line.
He's been up, he's been down, and he's experienced the peaks and valleys of an MMA career at a world-class level. But at his best, Jake Ellenberger is capable of beating anyone in the world. And anyone that's in the wrong place when one of those big punches lands is in all sorts of trouble. The same could be said of Robbie Lawler. This is a very, very fascinating fight.
The first man to knock out Nate Marquardt was Anderson Silva. The second was that man, Jake Ellenberger. Since the day he entered the octagon back in May of 2002 at 20 years old, you and I have had the pleasure of watching Robbie Lawler go to battle, because that's what he does. He goes to battle. He looks for the highlight reel knockout. He's finished 19 of his 22 professional wins. When a guy like Robbie Lawler steps into the octagon, you and I know something dynamic may very well happen.
He has wild, wild fights, crazy exchanges, and Robbie puts himself in danger. And that's the difference between the way Robbie fights and the way Ellenberger fought in his fight against Rory McDonald. Robbie will throw himself into the fire, and he's lost and he's won just as Ellenberger has, especially at 185 pounds. Had very mixed success over at Strikeforce, but at 170 in the UFC, he's been nothing short of spectacular. Came very close to winning the title against the current champion. And when you look at that fight and you go back and watch the Johnny Hendricks exchanges with Rory McDonald, or with Robbie Lawler, Robbie came very close to finishing that fight. It was a great, wild fight, a razor-close fight that Robbie came up short in. So he gets a chance to get right back into the gym, and he called the UFC a week later and said, I'm ready to go. And they set this fight up with a real quick turnaround.
He was in the gym that Monday show.
Yeah,
right back to the gym. And not only at 170, but as a member of American Top Team. And I talked to Aaron Simpson and Ryan Bader about Robbie Lawler, who was out of Power MMA for a while. And Aaron even said, he was very honest, he said at 185, Robbie was just, he was there. He was never bad, but he was never like really sharp. Now at 170, at ATT, he's as good as we've seen him.
Yeah, at 185, there's just too big of a weight difference. The big guys, like the strong wrestlers like Tim Kennedy, the grapplers, they just had too much over him. At 170, it's very difficult to hold him down, and he's been tremendously successful against world-class fighters.
Our tale of the tape for this welterweight fight. Ruthless Robbie Lawler, 3 years the elder of Jake Ellenberger, 2 inches taller, will have a slight reach advantage. And once again, here's the veteran voice of the Octagon, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC welterweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a freestyle fighter holding a professional record, 29 wins, 7 losses. He stands 5 feet 9 inches tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Lake Forest, California, Jake the Juggernaut Ellenberger. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 22 wins, 10 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 171 pounds. Fighting out of Coconut Creek, Florida, Ruthless Robbie Lawler. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, our referee for this great battle. Vanessa, Ariani, Brittany, Robbie Lawler with the big left hand. Jake Ellenberger with the big right hand. Here we go. The southpaw, Robbie Lawler in the black trunks, Jake Ellenberger in the gray trunks. Both men also very good wrestlers. Old school Militich fighter, Robbie Lawler. His longtime friend and former training partner, the Hall of Famer, Matt Hughes, in attendance watching his buddy Robbie very closely.
Both guys feeling each other out here, trying to find the distance. Robbie moving a lot, and that's one of the things that we've seen in the resurgence of Robbie Lawler is the technical aspects of it. Big head kick right there. The technical aspects of his research.
And again.
Another one. Jake's in trouble. Those are 2 really big shots. He's much more technical now. His footwork is better. He's not just this rabid berserker that we saw early in his career. He sets those up, and that left kick is money. He's landed 2 up top to the guard and 1 to the body. But those 2 to the guard, slamming into your forearms, is not fun.
Absolutely.
And although Ellenberger blocked him, those are scary. They're scary and they're stunning.
Ellenberger needs to circle away from the powerful left side of Robbie Lawler.
Yeah, Robbie faked that one that time, which was kind of interesting. Almost like he's trying to set him up with that and throw something different. See how he reacts to it.
Still trying to find that angle. The one thing that has remained consistent for Robbie, Joe, is his training of his striking game with Matt Pena.
What's going on right now from Ellenberger that I don't like is what was going on in the Rory McDonald fight, which was he goes into a defensive shell when he gets tagged. And that's how he's at right now. He has not thrown anything of significance yet. He's not tried to fire back and get respect from Robbie. He's not tried to do anything to take the momentum of the fight back. He's still waiting for his openings, looking for his opportunity, but then Robbie takes advantage every time he moves forward.
Lawler landed 150-plus significant strikes in that title fight with Johnny Hendricks. What a battle that was going the distance. He likes that high kick.
He does.
When scouting Jake Ellenberger, Somebody thought it was a good idea to go high with that left kick.
You're seeing the difference, really, in the style of Robbie. The movement, the opening up with these kicks right away. The way he just slid away from that right hand. He's just a much better fighter now. Much better.
A pro since 2001.
Well, we've had a chance to really see him mature inside the octagon.
Absolutely. We've seen
outside.
the whole ride, up and down.
Yeah.
Joe.
Now for... Nice knee to the body there by Robbie. Now for Jake, he's got to get something going here, Mike. He's got to get something going, and he can't wait. He's short with that right hand, which means he's a bit tentative. He's not pressing forward to try to really cover the distance because he's worried about getting cracked while he's coming in.
Absolutely, and dropping that hand and getting kicked again.
Yeah, he can't think about that. See, he threw that punch and immediately ducked under. A bit gun-shy early in this round.
Robbie has sent a message early. Little slip by Jake.
He sent a big message early in the form of left kicks.
Yep.
And he shut Jake down. I mean, Jake's output this round is shockingly low, especially when you're coming off of a fight like the Rory McDonald fight where that was a big disappointment.
Yes.
He ducked under there, but paused.
He also has it looked at potentially countering Robbie's strikes with a takedown.
Well, you see that redness under the right arm all over his body where those kicks have landed. And that's the reason. There's a reason for all this hesitation, is that he's felt that power. And even as he's landing, there. Yeah, but even as he's landing these, he's slightly pulling back.
And Lawler again goes to that high kick.
Oh, he gets tagged with that counter right hand.
Again, Robbie connects. Final minute of round one. All Robbie Lawler.
Again with the left. Ellenberger's standing right in front of him when he throws these shots. He's throwing these shots and waiting for something.
And he's circling towards the left side of Lawler again. See if Robbie tries to time another one of those kicks. Big swing and a miss. Jake threw so hard he got off balance, Joe.
He threw a body shot to the body there. And that's what Jake needs, more of that. And a good left hook there by Jake. There's that kick again.
That punch to the body, the best here in round one for Ellenberger.
Catch a deep breath, sit down, bud. Here, relax, relax. Everything looking great.
Great round.
Okay, this is it. Listen. Now you're touching him, okay? And when you're touching him, he wants to fight with you. Counter takedown is gonna come, okay? But listen, when you touch him, you lose your legs under you. You touch him, angle off, and touch him again, okay? He was trying to set that head kick up, so he's moving his hands, his legs, so that he could kick, okay? All right, he's too slow for you, okay? You're pulling back and you're seeing it. You're just not reacting to it. When he misses, you gotta react to it, okay?
He's lining up the big shot, Robbie. Mix that high kick up, all right? Yep. Control the chaos. Control the chaos.
Edmund Tarverdian in the corner of Jake Ellenberger. Of course, the trainer for Ronda Rousey said, Jake, you're faster. Let's see your hand speed. And they're happy with Robbie Lawler, but they don't want him to go to that leg kick too often, Joe. They want him to set it up. The head kick, that really sent a message early to the juggernaut.
Ellenberger landed with that right hand. He needs more of that. Here's that head kick again.
A lot more urgency here at the beginning of round two for Ellenberger.
This is a different sort of...
Oh, my.
Oh, Robbie's tagged in there.
And answered.
But he's forcing Ellenberger into a Robbie Lawler type fight.
Makes him pay for a potential takedown attempt.
Good knee to the body there by Robbie. Good jab. Nice short jab by Robbie.
Got the Nebraska wrestler, the Iowa wrestler, and they're striking here to move up the ladder at 170.
Robbie Lawler is stalking Jake Ellenberger. And Jake Ellenberger's coming up short with these punches. He just does not look at his best here tonight. And it is because of the power that he felt early in the round.
And Robbie just 2 months removed from a 25-minute war, Joe.
And Robbie also with the confidence of a guy who almost won the welterweight title and is fighting the best he's ever fought in his career, whereas Ellenberger's coming off of the most disappointing performance in a long time.
Undoubtedly, Lawler would love another shot at Johnny Hendricks.
Well, Robbie's publicly said that if they judge fights based on damage, he would be the champion. He thinks that he did more damage in that fight, and he certainly had the champion in positions where he didn't have him. I mean, Robbie had Johnny Hendricks hurt, and Hendricks really never had Robbie in deep, deep water.
Of course, Johnny would tell you the same thing against George St. Pierre.
It's true, and he's right. He's correct. Well, I think that was a bad decision. Good straight left. I don't think that the Hendricks-Robbie Lawler fight was a bad decision. I think it was perfect.
Close fight.
Yeah, Ellenberger just got tagged with the left hand here while we're talking about other fights.
Yeah, Robbie's mixing it up so well, Joe.
Yeah, he's tuning up Jake Ellenberger. I mean, this is the first fight I've ever seen Jake Ellenberger in where he looks outclassed.
Yeah.
He just got tagged with the left hand there.
And with the threat of that head kick, now all of a sudden the body shots are open.
He stood right in front of Robbie, and he's getting hurt. Ellenberger's in trouble, Mike.
Robbie's got such a classic style of striking. Hands in perfect position.
Well, what we saw in the Rory McDonald fight was Rory pick Ellenberger apart, but we didn't see him in deep danger like he is here. This is a different situation for Ellenberger, and now Ellenberger looking for the takedown, and he gets it.
And Jake's been out a while, too. He had that partial hamstring
Look
tear.
at this. Robbie's laughing. Ellenberger's on top of him, and Robbie's laughing, and Robbie turns it around and back up. He was laughing. And that wasn't to put on a show. It's like he's having a good time. Beautiful.
You knew that knee was coming.
That was perfectly placed, too.
That one hurt him. That knee took the wind out of Jake Ellenberger.
And he's looking to land these punches, placing them very well, making sure he doesn't hit the back of the head.
Life at 170 has been
hard
good for
shots.
Lawler.
Hard shots by Lawler, and well placed. Spins to the back.
And more tough shots. Ellenberger spins around. 18 career wins by knockout, 1 by submission.
Ellenberger's in all sorts of trouble here, Mike. All sorts of trouble. He's trying to get back up to his feet. He does. He eats a shot.
Look at his nose now, all busted up.
And he's trying to wing shots back, but Robbie is just simply too good tonight. And there's a takedown again.
Got it.
And another big smile from Robbie Lawler.
Yep, 2 takedowns here for Jake Ellenberger, but what can he do from this position?
Well, he's got to get some serious ground and pound work in here. 45 seconds to go. Good defense on the ground by Robbie. And look at this.
Can't hold him down.
Right back up to his feet.
Just over 30 now.
And Robbie went to take him down. Knee to the body. Another knee. Robbie's got a bit of a mouse under the left eye, Mike.
Total strikes, by far Lawler the dominant fighter. Ellenberger much better output here in round 2 though. Jake has the 2nd most knockdowns in welterweight history. Short elbow.
Another big round for Robbie Lawler.
Absolutely.
Big round. Jake Ellenberger is in a desperate situation here.
Keep your head up, nice and relaxed. Soft. We had a cut. It's okay. Keep. Nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. Nice and relaxed. Jake, you gotta fire with both hands and stay low. You listening? When you get inside, now you gotta exchange. You gotta let both hands go to win this fight. You gotta get inside tight, nice and tight. Okay, you gotta get inside, and you gotta bring in a fight. Okay, bring him into a fight. Takedowns will be there also. But when you get inside, you gotta fire both hands. You gotta plant foundation. Da 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 da. Foundation and explode. Both hands you gotta fire. You gotta deep in dip, okay, to win this fight. Okay, you gotta deep. You gotta dig in deep to win this fight. This round you gotta let it all in the cage. Okay.
Great advice in the corner of Jake Ellenberger. He's got to let it go.
Well, it's great advice, except Robbie Lawler's going to let it go, too. The problem is Robbie Lawler is outclassing him. It's not just a matter of Ellenberger letting it go. It's a matter of staying conscious while he lets it go. Robbie's just getting off the better strikes and much more of them.
Making Jake look very ordinary.
I mean, this is the last round, but there is some swelling, again, under the left eye of Robbie Lawler that might become a factor. Ellenberger throwing very few kicks. There was a big knee to the body by Lawler.
Yeah, he threw first with the hook, and then Robbie was able to connect with the knee. There's a right hand.
There's
and another.
And a left hook. He hurt him. He hurt him. He hurt him again.
He caught him. Swinging for the fence here.
Ellenberger has Robbie Lawler in trouble, Mike.
Absolutely. The right hand connected big time.
This is weird. Ellenberger just sort of, he might have hurt his hand, Mike.
Uppercut.
There's something about the way he's holding his right hand that I don't like.
Right after he connected with his best punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, his hand's wide open,
And
Joe.
he sort of wilted a little bit, like as if he was in pain.
Keep an eye on it.
Yeah, he's barely throwing it now.
And that's the biggest weapon he has to try to pull this off.
I think he hurt his right hand. He hurt his right hand in that wild exchange, because the way he's throwing it now, he's like almost like he's afraid to touch him with it.
Yeah, he kind of hit Robbie in the top of the head.
Well, he
may
was
have busted it up.
winging him.
Man, what was bad just may have gotten worse for Jake Ellenberger.
Yeah, there's something wrong with his hand, without a doubt. He keeps touching it, and he threw that punch and immediately touched it afterwards, even though he didn't hit him with it. A big shift in this fight, for sure. And really, unfortunately, because for Ellenberger, it was the first time he had success.
And he had him hurt.
But this is one of the reasons why it's important to have a full arsenal of weapons that you're comfortable with. Kicks. There he goes.
There he threw the right. Just about to the midway point of the third and final round.
He threw it again. He needs more of those kicks. Throw some elbows. I mean, we can all remember when Uriah Faber fought for the title and broke both his hands and was throwing elbows.
There's a left hand from Robbie Lawler. And again, Robbie looks just very crisp, technical, sharp, and Jake looks off, like you said. It doesn't look like the Jake Ellenberger that we know.
He just got tagged in the eye and looked to Herb Dean. He might be looking for a way out.
2 minutes.
And there's a big knee.
And another shot. Trying to finish this fight.
He's done.
It is all over. Ruthless Robbie Lawler finishes Jake Ellenberger.
It looks like he got hit in the eye, Mike. He's covering his eye. Big, big win for Robbie Lawler. Robbie sensed he was hurt. When you see a fighter get hit and then turn and look towards the referee, that's a big tell. There's the right hand. See, that one went to his eyes. See how he turned and looked towards the referee real quick? And then Robbie moves in. Boom, and there's the knee. And he's covering up. He got hit in the exact same eye. I think the knuckle went into the eye, and that's when he looked to Herb Dean. He might have thought it was a poke, perhaps. Big, big win for Robbie Lawler.
Disappointing night for Jake Ellenberger. For Robbie Lawler, 20 career finishes, 19 by strikes.
Incredible. And this is the best he's ever looked. I mean, it's amazing that this guy has had such a long career, and we're just now seeing him come into his own.
Ruthless Robbie Lawler with the win, with the official decision. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Herb Dean has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 6 seconds of the third round, declaring the winner by TKO, Ruthless Robbie Lawler.
He is right back near the top of the line. for a shot at the welterweight title. Here's Joe. Gonna grab ruthless Robbie Lawler.
I'm here with the winner, Robbie Lawler. Robbie, congratulations on a very, very impressive performance. You started out the beginning in this fight with big kicks to the body, big kicks to the head, and you just dominated from then out. Give us your thoughts on the fight and what, if anything, surprised you.
He's a really good fighter. I wanted to just go out there and showcase what I was capable of and let everyone know that I'm coming for that title.
You got right back in the gym immediately after that title fight. What was the mindset, and what is your mindset now coming off of this victory?
I wasn't gonna cry about anything. I was gonna get back in line and beat people up and make everyone know that I'm the best and I'm coming for that title.
Let's take a look at the end of this fight, Robbie. You caught him. Once you had him hurt, you moved in for the kill. There's the big jab. You tagged him with that. You saw he was hurt. Tell me what you were thinking right here.
I'm just gonna keep pressing him, breaking him down, and make him quit.
Well, Robbie, look, congratulations. Jake Ellenberger's a hell of a fighter. This is a big victory for you. You're right back in the hunt. Can't wait to see you fight for the title again. Robbie Lawler, ladies and gentlemen.
Ruthless Robbie Lawler with the victory here in Las Vegas against Jake Ellenberger. He finishes the fight at 3:06 of the third and final round. The All-American, the Olympian, the undefeated mixed martial artist, Daniel D.C. Cormier, puts his 14-0 record on the line tonight against one of the greatest of all time. Hendo. Dan Henderson, a true mixed martial arts Hall of Famer, the former Pride 183 and 205-pound champion, the former Strikeforce light heavyweight champion. The 43-year-old has one thing left to accomplish in his MMA career, and in his mind, that is to win the belt in the UFC. And there you see Alexander Gustafsson set for another battle with John Jones, Rashad Evans. Glover just fought, but Cormier and Henderson, a matchup of Olympians.
Yeah, and I can't wait to see Gustafsson get back in there again for another shot at the title, which apparently will be next. The interesting thing about Henderson is he's the rare guy that can fight in two divisions and be really successful. At 185, he's a killer, and he's a killer at 205. But honestly, in this fight, he came in under 200 pounds for the first time in a long.
199.
Yeah, which is interesting. It could help him with speed, or it could hurt him. You know, I'm curious to see how well he moves and how this goes down tonight.
Going to be fun to watch as Hendo, Dan Henderson, battles DC fellow Olympian Daniel Cormier.
Not many guys go through their careers undefeated. That's my goal. I don't want to lose ever. And with the skills that I have, I don't see any reason why I can't win every single fight I'm in.
Big right hand. He clipped him and hurt him bad.
He got rocked. Can he finish it? It is all over. Daniel Cormier.
I truly believe with every fiber of my being, I can be the champion.
He's relentless.
The only goal I still have that I haven't reached is to win that UFC belt, and this will give me that chance to be right back there to fight for the title.
Dan Henderson's been the model for what I want to be in the sport. He won in Pride, he won in Strikeforce. The only thing missing from his career is the UFC championship. But you know what, man? I'm going to go in there, win my fight, and then just sit on the sidelines and wait for my title shot.
He's going to do great things in the sport later after I beat him up.
Dan Henderson's very, very dangerous, tough, durable. I'm excited to test myself against him, though. I really am.
It'll be an interesting fight for sure. He's really explosive, and he tends to like to strike, but he's also known to take guys down, and, it's just a matter of defending those takedowns, defending the punches, and punching them in his face.
Oh, huge right hand for Hendo. Dan Henderson has done it.
Dan Henderson has advantages. He honestly does hit harder than me with his right hand.
Bam, drops him.
Hopefully I land my right hand one time, the fight might be over. All it takes is one punch.
That's it.
I think my biggest advantage is going to be my speed.
He's firing away.
I'm the bigger guy, and I can wrestle better than Dan Henderson. You just put him in the fight, and I'll go beat him up.
Joe, that man is about as world-class as we have ever seen. For over 2 decades, Dan Henderson has been one of the greatest fighters in the world. Be it the UFC, Pride, Strikeforce, you name it, he has done it. He's got one thing left on the list, of course, but he's coming off another knockout of Shogun. The H-bomb is the difference maker.
Yeah, I mean, you want to talk about a guy who's got a long career in MMA. I have had the privilege of being there for his very first fight in the octagon way back in 1998. You remember that fight?
Mobile, Alabama.
Yep, fought in a tournament, actually. That was back when they had 2 fights a night. He beat Alan Goez, and then he defeated Carlos Newton to win the middleweight tournament. UFC 17.
Yeah, Alan Goez, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt, and then Newton, one of the few Canadians to ever be a UFC champion. He and GSP.
Who was a spectacular submission fighter in his time.
Dan Henderson, over his career, Joe, as we know, has proven to be one of the most durable fighters in mixed martial arts history. He did weigh in, keep in mind, at 199 pounds. Seeing him today, you still know he is just as dangerous as ever.
Oh, he just knocked out Shogun with 1 punch. I mean, and it's after getting tagged and hurt in the first round. I mean, he's always dangerous. His chin is one of his best weapons. He's so durable, and he's so tough mentally. He never gives up. He's always in a fight, and he has extreme confidence in his power. And it's not just his right hand. Everybody says it's his right hand. He knocked out Vanderlei Silva with his left. He's got power in both hands. He just throws the right hand more often.
The 2-time Olympian, the former Pride and Strikeforce champion, Hendo Dan Henderson.
I'm a nightmare. Yeah. The champ is here. Woo! I'm gonna put a finish to this. I'm gonna fight. Yeah. Pulling my name. I'm here to break faces and change the game. I wanna fight. Put you to shame. They said you the champ, but I think you lame. I wanna fight.
Both of these great wrestlers embrace the grind. One man is already a legend. This man, Daniel Cormier, hopes he is at the beginning of a legendary MMA career.
Well, Daniel Cormier is so successful in his MMA career that he's a 10-to-1 favorite coming in this fight against, it's crazy. When you think about just the resume of Dan Henderson, it's mind-blowing. But Daniel Cormier has been amazing, both at heavyweight and his debut at light heavyweight was also spectacular against Pat Cummings. A long time coming. Most people thought that at light heavyweight, that's where we're going to see him at his best, despite the fact that he was unbeaten against world-class competition at heavyweight, including 2 former UFC heavyweight champions. He has outstanding hand techniques, and that's one of the things that people sleep on when it comes to Cormier. They think about his wrestling, but the fluidity of his punching technique and his ability to cover distance.
And his speed.
His speed both in his hands and his feet, and his takedowns in wrestling are, of course, world class. He's a winner. He's a winner, and he's got this champion's mindset that's impossible to, you can't weigh. You can't put it on a scale. You can't figure out what it's worth, but he's got it. Dan Henderson has it as well, and it's just this thing that these guys have that lets them figure out a way to win fights that ordinarily they wouldn't be winning. And when you get 2 guys like this together, one guy who's been through adversity in Dan Henderson, one guy who's figured out a way to win when the chips are down, and one guy in Daniel Cormier that's never had to. It's a very, very interesting situation, because what happens if Dan connects? If Dan Henderson catches him with one of his patented punches, can Cormier land it? And what happens if Cormier uses that hand speed and fluidity and boxes up Dan Henderson?
Professional since 2009. He started training MMA, Joe, at age 30. But the Olympian faces off against the Olympian here tonight. Our tale of the tape for this light heavyweight showcase. Cormier 35, Henderson 43. Henderson weighing in at 199 pounds will have a slight reach advantage. With the official introductions, Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. This fight is 3 rounds in the UFC light heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 30 wins, 11 losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 199 pounds. Fighting out of Temecula, California, he is the former Pride welterweight and middleweight champion and the former Strikeforce light heavyweight champion, presenting Dan Henderson! And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a wrestler and a kickboxer, holding an undefeated professional record, 14 wins, no losses. He stands 5 feet 11 inches tall, weighing in at 205 pounds. Fighting out of San Jose, California, he is the former Strikeforce heavyweight Grand Prix champion, Daniel D.C. Cormier. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Yves Leving.
Take yourself at all time will be my command at all time. If you want to touch that, do it now, go back to your corner.
Huge respect, mutual. DC, Hendo.
Are you ready, sir? Ready? Fight!
And here we go. White trunks for Hendo, black trunks for DC, Daniel Cormier. That right hand is always in the trigger position.
You could see by the stance of Cormier that he was going to start throwing some kicks. Seemed to have a bit of an upright stance. And that's one of the differences between their styles. Cormier throws a lot of hand techniques, but he'll throw high kicks. You very rarely see that from Henderson, but does have good leg kicks. Ducks under there.
Yeah, he did. Looking for the, oh my! Beautiful, beautiful. Great takedown, right into side control, Joe. Wow. He took Hendo for a ride there.
Cormier, the bigger man, struggles a bit to get down to 205, and as we said, Dan Henderson weighed in quite a bit below the limit at 199.
We've only seen Cormier for 1 minute and 19 seconds at 205 in that fight against Patrick Cummins down the street at the Mandalay Bay.
And Dan has Cormier's right arm tied up with his legs, and he's holding on to his left arm like this. He's got him in a bit of a cradle. Look at that. Cormier tried to slam his way out of it. And Dan hit him with some hard elbows from this position. He's trying to hold that arm in place. Now he's trying to go for an arm bar. He's trying to submit him here, and Cormier pulls his arm out.
Both of these men possess that wrestling strength, Joe.
And Cormier got out of both trouble spots. And now Cormier in full side control here.
Trying to work the body of Henderson. Wants to get out of this position. We always talk about iron sharpens iron. Cain Velasquez, Daniel Cormier. They were made to go to battle as teammates in MMA. They have both learned from each other and pushed each other to unparalleled limits.
That is a tremendous advantage, having someone like Cain Velasquez with just infinite gas tank, who has world-class skills, one of the best heavyweights, if not the best ever, and that's the guy you train with on a day-to-day basis. I mean,
and they're really not cutting weight, Joe, but when they're in there working, they're really close in weight.
Yeah.
Similar build, everything's perfect.
Yeah, and they go at it. I've watched some of those training camps. I've watched some of those videos of sparring sessions, and it's amazing. I mean, these guys push each other to the brink, and that's what makes great fighters. Having that kind of an environment, having great training partners that are elite world-class fighters that, you know, are better than almost anybody you're ever going to face inside the cage.
Cormier trying to get the mount.
Moving into mount as Dan holds onto his neck. And Dan's in a bit of a pickle here. He's not taking too much damage, but he's stuck underneath the bigger man in Cormier, not scoring any points, and he can't win from there.
And again, half guard is a position that wrestlers don't mind from the top. And now he's trying once again to get to the full mount.
Yeah,
almost there.
He's hitting him with some hard body shots too, and that allowed him to fully escape in the mount. And Dan is trying to hip escape and get back to half guard.
He does.
Wrap the leg up, but purely defensive at this point.
No question. But as you said, not taking a ton of damage.
Not taking a ton of damage, but getting exhausted, having the bigger man on top of him. And for DC, not much work. Making Henderson carry his weight is huge. Big punches to the body. Good up kick by Dan.
Henderson's last 7 bouts have come against former champions in one organization or another, and Cormier thinks he's a future champion.
This is crazy watching Cormier ragdoll Dan on the ground like this. The way he took him down, and now the way he's handling him on the ground. These are big shots.
Just over a minute on the clock here in the first.
Completely controlling the ground.
Yeah. And this is Olympian versus Olympian. Both
looking
men
for Kimura
the
here.
U.S.
North-south position.
A lot of top position here in round 1 for DC.
Dan looking for trying to get a leg lock there and allowed him to stand back up. He's on that leg lock attempt to get back to his feet.
Watch for the H-bomb.
When you see Daniel Cormier, I should say, stand up tall, well, there's a big right hand over the top. Look for those kicks to start coming. There it is. Yeah.
And with Henderson, look for the low inside kick from the left with the right hand follow. That's his trademark move.
Look at it. Henderson trying to take Cormier down.
And Cormier able to stuff it. 10 seconds on the clock. Big round 1 for Cormier.
Yeah, huge. Huge with that big takedown and huge with his dominance on the ground, his ability to control Dan Henderson.
Hey, great top game, DC.
Breathe and listen.
Perfect.
Breathe and
okay?
listen. Breathe and listen.
Nice look you got out there. I want you to continue into the right. That is the key, okay? Anything you want to do, I don't care. I want that continuous movement, okay?
Hey.
I want a little more damage on the ground. I want a little more space to create it. You got to pick your shots, okay? Hey, don't worry. Nice.
Crazy Bob
shots,
Cook.
Okay?
Javier Mendez in the corner of DC.
Look at this.
Wow.
That's called ragdolling somebody. And when you do it to someone like me, it's not impressive. When you do it to Dan Henderson, it's very impressive. And Daniel Cormier is nothing but impressive in his 14-0 mixed martial arts career against one of the most dangerous fighters he's ever met inside the octagon, arguably the most decorated, and he just dominated that first round. But make no mistake about it, just like Shogun dominated the first round in the last fight that Dan Henderson had, Dan can still shut the lights out with one shot at any time.
Shogun really put a lot of hurting on Henderson in that rematch for the first 2 rounds. Had Dan in trouble.
Well, that's one of the things about Dan is his durability. He's got a shocking chin.
And here he takes a big swing. And remember, Cormier made his light heavyweight debut against Patrick Cummins. Fight only lasted a little over a minute, so we'll keep an eye on the cardio of Daniel Cormier.
He's in great shape. I don't think you have to worry about that. But the Patrick Cummins fight was a quick victory. But in Cummins' defense, he took that fight on literally a week's notice.
Yeah.
Crowd's booing.
And of course, cardio stays with you when you're on top. That's what DC's doing again.
Yeah, I mean, he's not having to work nearly as hard as Henderson does, carrying all that weight and also trying to push that weight off you to get back up to your feet. Oh, big elbow by Cormier.
Of course, we had the Ronda Rousey-Sarah McMahon Olympic matchup.
This shows you what kind of respect Daniel Cormier has for the punching power of Dan Henderson when you consider the guys that Cormier has stood up with, guys like Bigfoot Silva, guys like Josh Barnett, has been in there with, you know.
Guy's about 50 pounds heavier than
big
Dan
shots,
Henderson.
big shots by Cormier.
Henderson trying to get up.
I mean, in the Josh Barnett fight, we really got to see what kind of wrestling Cormier possesses. To watch him ragdoll that big former heavyweight champion like that. And that was a big test for him as well, that Strikeforce Heavyweight Grand Prix. We also got to see in the Bigfoot Silva fight his combinations of his punches, which are outstanding.
Ground strikes, all Cormier.
Yeah, Cormier looks like he's trying to set up a submission, Mike. He's riding on top.
Shot to the body.
Big shot to the body. Big punches by DC, big left hands.
Henderson is just in defense mode again.
Yeah, he's completely stuck.
Midway point of the fight.
Oh,
another big shot.
Hard shots. And again, DC just moving all over him, controlling him. Full mount now for DC.
And that is one thing Cormier said, Joe, is that he felt he could out-wrestle Dan Henderson.
Well, he's certainly been correct.
No doubt about it. Trying to advance to that full mount again.
He had it briefly, but Dan did a good job of hip escaping, getting back to half guard. A bit better defensively, but Cormier still just roughing him up. Elbows, punches to the body.
Officially, Cormier has 2 takedowns, but man, is he taking advantage of those.
He's trying to get him in a mounted crucifix here. His ability to control Dan Henderson is actually pretty shocking. I mean, when was the last time we ever saw anybody do this on the ground?
Maybe never, right?
I don't think so. I can't think of a time where you see Dan for 2 rounds solid on his back, squirming around. You know, that leg lock attempt was the only thing to get him back up to his feet. And Dan's trying to tie up that leg again. He's going to have to go under that left leg of Cormier, though, to try to get back up to his feet. And Cormier's not having any of it.
No, and he knows how to stay heavy.
And he's beating Dan up in the process. Making Dan carry his weight. Dan tried to roll, but look, Cormier followed him perfectly. Right back into side control, sticks to him like glue. Heavy hips.
Good ground and pound by Daniel Cormier here in round 2.
Yeah, Dan is getting beat up. I mean, Dan's trying desperation moves like knees to the body from the bottom. He is getting pounded on.
Yeah. Yves Levine right there takes a look at the clock, takes a look at the action. He knows how durable Henderson is, though.
Well, that's one of the things about being a legend. Everybody gets to know how you fight, right? You know, there's no surprises in the chin of Dan Henderson.
North south again.
This is crazy. Look at this top position. 7 minutes and 28 seconds in 2 rounds.
So basically about 8 out of 10 minutes of the fight.
These are big shots from Cormier. Just slowly but surely beating Dan up, making Dan carry his weight for 2 rounds, and then hanging on here in the 3rd, though, doing nothing, waiting for the clock to run out.
He did it with 2 takedowns.
In the 2nd.
One in the 1st, one in the 2nd.
Total domination on the ground, and one of the rare times you've ever seen Dan Henderson cut.
Yep.
Hey, I know it sucks, but you have to fight this guy now. I know you're tired. Sit down, Dan. Sit down. Sit down, Dan. Sit down.
Hendo knows exactly what he needs to do.
I know you're tired.
You want the bad
You have to go fight him now. You have to go fight him. Yeah? I know. I know. No, it's not the war.
You know, stay low now. The thing stick down, hit the motherfucker now.
You have to go now. Okay? Let's go.
Stay low there.
I can't hear what Dan is saying.
There's blood in his eye. Blood in his eye. Let's go.
Hendo has fought all of the greats in the history of mixed martial arts. And tonight he faces a rising star in Daniel Cormier in a showcase of U.S. Olympic wrestlers. DC unbeaten as a professional mixed martial artist. And he wants to continue to make a statement here in Las Vegas against Hendo. 3rd and final round.
And again, a tall Daniel Cormier standing up high, not worried about the takedowns of Dan Henderson. Look for that left kick.
And standing up is what Henderson needs to do in this round. He's got to keep this on the feet, give himself a chance to win. That's his move, that low kick and the punch, but it's usually at a little quicker speed. Hendo's gas from carrying Cormier for so long.
Goodness.
My goodness, indeed.
Wow.
Look at that.
Just complete ragdoll on him.
You're absolutely right, Joe. It's a first for Dan Henderson.
Yeah, this is, I mean, total domination by Cormier. And in the grappling, you know, in Dan Henderson's world.
Yeah. The athleticism of Cormier.
The technique, the athleticism, the conditioning, the power, everything. He's a beast.
Yep, top of the food chain.
I mean, there's a reason why everybody's so high on this man, and it's not just because of the fact that he's had so much success. It's what everybody has said about him in the training room. It's what everybody knows about him based on his wrestling credentials. He's something special.
Yeah, and when you talk about a guy's heroes, Cormier talks about John Smith and Kevin Jackson, Dan Gable, Kenny Monday, some of the greatest wrestlers of all time. And you've always said, Joe, the greatest base in MMA is wrestling. They both have it. Right now, Daniels
No
is
question.
better.
Well, look at, you know, you're talking about a guy who's 35 years old, started training at MMA at 30.
Yeah.
He's one of the elite of the elite. And he's dominating one of the greatest of all time right now.
And he's got full mount.
Same thing with John Jones. Look at John Jones. I mean, the guy trains for 4 years, dominates the light heavyweight division, and wins the title, the youngest guy ever. Wrestling. It all starts out in wrestling. It's because the mind is the most important part of the big picture. And no one has a stronger mindset than amateur wrestlers. No one. They endure so much, and they're so mentally tough. And I think that when you get as good as a guy like Daniel Cormier gets at wrestling, you can get good at anything. It's just, they're willing to work harder, they're smarter, they're more focused. There's just something about the elite of the elite in any given sport.
They embrace the grind. And really, Joe, what you just said about Daniel Cormier, we were saying about Cain Velasquez 5 years ago.
Absolutely.
Same base, and look where he is now.
And this is one of the reasons why Cain is so good. And this is one of the reasons also why Daniel's so good. Because Daniel Cormier goes through this with Cain, you know, on a daily basis, all year round. This is bad. I mean, Dan Henderson has nothing left in the tank. And if Daniel Cormier unloads, he could easily get this fight stopped.
This is perhaps as one-sided as we've seen Dan Henderson be dominated in the UFC.
Well, certainly for 3 rounds.
Definitely in the UFC.
Certainly for 3 rounds. You know, I mean, we've seen him lose quickly, like the Vitor Belfort fight, and we've seen him, you know, lose in the 2nd round of the Anderson Silva fight.
But a good first round, either.
Yeah, a good first round where he controlled Anderson on the ground. But we've never seen this. I mean, this is Daniel Cormier proving to the world that he's one of the best in the division. At 205 pounds, one of the scariest of the contenders.
Bigger, younger, faster.
Just awesome, you know? And now Daniel Cormier has got the back of Dan Henderson with the arm underneath the neck.
Yeah, he wants to finish this fight. Trying to tap him out.
He might have it here.
DC looking for the submission.
His own glove for the finish.
Man, how tough is that?
That's it.
It is all over. Daniel Cormier, winner by submission. He defeats Dan Henderson.
He went out.
Total domination.
He choked Dan out right in front of us.
Hendo wouldn't tap.
Henderson is waking up right now, realizing what happened. I don't know if Hendo tapped or if he went out after he tapped. It's hard to tell. We couldn't see. We'll see it in the replay, but what a performance by Daniel Cormier. Look at this. I mean, he did that to Josh Barnett, so I don't know why we're surprised that he did it to Dan Henderson. But look at this. He gets him back up, and look at this trip. Watch this. Gets him up. Watch his left leg. Whoop. Boom. I mean, it's like, all due respect, it's like a man and a boy. Now here, he sunk it in. He got his back, and he never tapped. Yves Levine recognized that Dan was out. Dan never tapped. There's not a tougher man that's ever walked the face of the planet than Dan Henderson.
Amen.
But man, Daniel Cormier is something special.
He refused to tap, finished nonetheless. Daniel Cormier is 15-0. as he defeats Dan Henderson with the official decision. Here is Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Yves Leving has called a stop to this contest at 3 minutes, 53 seconds of the third round, declaring the winner by submission due to a rear naked choke, Daniel D.C. Cormier.
Two great competitors. Is Cormier the future? He will visit with Joe.
I'm here with winner Daniel Cormier. Dan, really a spectacular performance.
1 second. John Jones, you can't run away from me forever. I'm the kid at the wrestling tournament that is always in your bracket. No matter where you go, boy, I'm coming. You better hurry because I'm getting better.
And you are getting better, sir. Amazing performance tonight against a true legend in Dan Henderson. Did anything surprise you about this fight?
No, I mean, it was just, I know nobody can wrestle me, so it doesn't matter. If I decide to take John Jones down 100 times, I'll take him down 100 times. This is my octagon, I'm the man.
I don't think we should say anything more. I think what you did tonight was a masterful performance, and I can't wait to see you fight for the title.
Thank you so much.
Daniel Cormier, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I'm here with one of the toughest human beings that's ever walked the face of the planet, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Henderson, you know, you have had such a long career, and I've been very fortunate to be there from the beginning, your very first Octagon fight. Give me your thoughts on this fight tonight and what this means to you.
You know, he's a heavy guy, and got on top of me and just wore me out a little bit. And, you know, I don't know, I'm just disappointed in my performance. You know, so I apologize to all you fans, and I really appreciate your support.
Well, you got nothing but love from this crowd here tonight, Dan. You fought your career at 185 and at 205. Do you think if you continue, you'll compete as a middleweight?
Possibly. I mean, I weighed in at 199 for this fight, which is smaller than most middleweights, but you know, I've never really noticed that big of a difference till, you know, tonight he was just heavy on top. Maybe I shouldn't have given that chicken.
Well, and even in the end, you still refuse to tap and go out. What do you do now? Do you go and think about the future? Do you have a plan set in your mind?
You know, my plan was to beat DC tonight, so just gonna have to figure it out, move forward, and I'm not done yet. I'm still gonna compete. You know, I love the sport, and I absolutely love the support you guys give me, and I will continue to do it until I can't.
It's been an honor to call your fights. You're one of the greatest of all time. And thank you very much for another amazing display of heart and courage. Dan Henderson, ladies and gentlemen.